In our last homework, we left you a homework, which is this. If you haven't checked it out, then please do so because it probably doesn't mean much to you at this moment. So, assuming you try to solve this quiz, right? And how many liberties does this group have? So, let's count. 1, 2. This doesn't count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And this should be a very common answer, but remember, we have something over here too. So this group has 13 liberties, which means if white wants to capture, white has to spend 13 stones to capture these 8 black stones. So this is the answer to our last homework. These two are the basic examples of Ataris. And let's take a look at the top left corner. This black's liberty has only reduced to 1. And if black wants to be alive, then all you gotta do is just come out. Just pull it out, be alive. Before you had 1 liberty, and now all of a sudden you have extended to 3 liberties. So if you don't want to get captured when your opponent is trying to Atari you or have already Atari'd you, then you can just come out and just be alive. And this one too, if you want to extend your liberty, now you have only 1, but you can come out and you have 2 liberties. So you can just come out and be alive. In this video, we're going to take a look at various ways of capturing your opponents or gaining your advantages. And in this specific picture, we have so many cool moves. So the first thing I want to share with you is called a cut, which means it looks like these white stones are all connected because they're all together, right? But the thing is, they are not sharing a lot of lines. So this is actually one group, this is second group, third group, and fourth group. So white actually has 4 groups of stones over here. And it same goes to the black too. Black has 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups. And it is very important to secure your cutting points. And here are the cutting points. Cut, cut. Black can play here and cut white. White can also play here and cut black. So this is what's going on at this moment. It looks complicated, but if you just try to understand it, it's not that difficult, right? And now it's black's turn to move, and black can do something called cut, but also an Atari over here, which is black can play here. If white doesn't respond, black is going to capture it, right? So if white responds to it by extending its liberty and running like this, this is called a cutting Atari. That's not an academic official name, but you're cutting someone and also Atariing someone. It's a very, very common move that you can play in your games. After doing so, you also have a very cool move left, which is called double Atari. If you look at these 2 white groups, this one has 1, 2 liberties, and this one also has 1, 2 liberties, and they somehow share this middle point, which means if you play the middle like this, you not only Atari these 2 stones, so it only has 1 liberty, but also Atari this stone and limit its liberty to 1. If white decides to save these 2 stones, then black can capture this stone. If white decides to save this stone, then black can capture these 2 stones. So this is called double Atari. But in Go, remember, it is a game of surrounding territory, not killing your opponent, right? So here, what you can do is a very strategic and tactical mind like a warlord. What you can do is Atari, right? White has to answer, right? Otherwise it's dead. And Atari, white answer, Atari, white answer, and you can capture this stone, and you have basically got this whole area for yourself, and white only has a few points over here. But white now has a double Atari left, but it's okay for us. You can just connect up, and white can push. You can try to surround your territory like this. And if white plays a hane, hane means you're basically trying to bend it like this. What you can do is Atari when white connects up, Atari when white captures this stone, you can connect up and you have solidified your territory like this. So sometimes you can, by sacrificing your stones, you can gain a lot more profit. So now we're starting to think like a warlord, right? Sacrifice some of your friends to get more money. That's basically what this game is. And here is the last one. And remember this picture from earlier, right? White plays something over here and black comes out. But here is the trick. There is something called ladder. And what is ladder? It looks like this. We have 2 liberties for these 2 black stones, and white limits it to 1. And if black wants to live, black has to come out. Black's liberty has extended to 2 liberties. But white can continue Atari, 1 liberty, extend 2 liberties, Atari, 1 liberty, extend 2, Atari, 1, 2, 1. And when it tries to come out, at the end, you are going to get to the side of the board anyways. And on the side of the board, you do not get to extend your liberties, because whenever you put a stone over here, it automatically doesn't have half the liberties, right? So on the side of the board, these you cannot add liberties, which means black crawling one more time, it became from 1 liberty to still 1 liberty, which means white can just place a stone over here and capture the whole group of black's stones. So this is basically what a ladder is. Let me give you an easier example. So we have some white stones over here and black has a stone over here, right? And if white wants to capture this stone, then white can Atari one way or another, right? If white Ataris from here, then black runs. When white tries to push, black can just keep running and black is not going to die. It's keep extending its liberties. But if you Atari from the other side, which is here, black's liberty only has 1 now. When black runs, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And this is just keep going until we get to the end of the board. And 1 liberty, and still 1 liberty, which means although these stones are Atarying this stone first, but you get to capture the whole thing even before your opponent has a chance to capture this stone. So this is called Atari. It is one of the most abstract concepts in Go, but it looks like you got it, right? Okay, now let's take a look at a sample game. This I'm actually playing with the real person and I'm playing as black. And we're just going to play the middle to see what's up, and white immediately tries to come near us but not touching. So I'm going to extend over here, trying to get this area and also reduce its liberty. And if I reduce it, I have 2 stones, white has only 1 stone. So I am stronger than him if white wants to fight. So it's 2 versus 1. And now I can keep surrounding white. So this way I'm basically claiming this whole top right side is mine. I mean, if white comes in, I can't really do anything about it, but like white is not trying to come in at this moment. And we can just Atari. This is a very simple one, but we have 2 ways to Atari it. We can Atari here, and of course, white would connect up. Then black can try to capture these 2 stones, but it seems pretty hard. So all you gotta do is Atari over here. You know he will connect. Then you have another Atari. That is a good flow. So you Atari first. When white connects up, you Atari again, and you have captured this stone. And your opponent Atari's back. Don't get scared. You can just connect up. And this is another Atari. And you can just capture it. And now this stone is captured, and this whole top right side is our territory. And from here, all I gotta do is just make sure I don't fall behind. Just get my points. And Go is not really about fighting or killing anything. It's more about just getting more points, be calm, and win the game. And in this case, let's Atari this stone. White, of course, extends, and here we have to be careful. If black is too eager to capture these 2 white stones and plays over here, and we have a problem. which is these 4 black stones only have 1 and 2 liberties, which means if I play here, white can play here, and I'm dead. And let me show you the consequences of being too greedy. So black plays over here, and white of course will kill me, right? And even if I try to run, it's still Atari'd, so everything is captured, which means these 2 stones are probably going to die, and these 2 stones are probably going to die. So you can visualize white's territory like this. So from here to everything to the right is white's territory, and white and black only has this much. We don't have to count, we already know black has lost. So this is basically a sample game of where black shows its greed and get punished. Again, if you would like to get a free copy of how to play Go, then please check out our description. And this has been Z, and I will see you next time.